Okay, so I think there is some
Hello?
problem. The internet. Okay, Professor Sharma, I thought there is some problem with your system. It was
Yes, sir. Actually,
continuously.
earlier it was some problem. Now I have joined through my mobile.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yeah. So I think I can start.
Yes, please start. Please start. Students are joining gradually and they will be joining. You please start.
Okay, okay. So, dear students, I think all of you are here. And again, we are here with one of our family member who has left us 3, 4 years back, and now again he is with us. I welcome Mr. Anand Shukla, alumni member of UEM Jaipur. Right now, he is a researcher in domain of natural language processing, and currently working as a senior researcher with TCS Research and Development Wing. He used to give lectures in different countries on this particular topic. And I again request all the students presenting over here that you kindly take maximum benefit of this discussion, because it will enhance your knowledge about what are the activities you need to do to get a proper placement, or if you want to have any higher study goal, then how you can proceed for that. So I think Mr. Aninda can start. Mr. Aninda, are you there? So you can take over, please.
Yeah, yeah, I'm here. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you
Okay.
for the introduction.
Okay.
So I think I'm visible. Yes,
You are
Yes.
and
both
audible
visible and
also.
Yes.
audible.
Thank you, sir. So I can understand that this is being a Saturday morning. It's a lazy morning because the week have just ended and I have started my this session. So it's people will join gradually. That's fine. So I don't want to keep this session as a kind of a lecture session where I'll give some kind of a lecture or some kind of a talk kind of a thing, and it'll get boring after a few minutes or after a few 5-10 minutes, because I also passed through these phase. So I can understand what is to be being in a session on Saturday morning like this. So I can understand completely. So please bear with me for a few more minutes, or upcoming few 30 minutes or 35 minutes, whatever the session will be. Just let us see. So I'll keep this whole session as a very interactive one, because I don't want to be in a very for yourself or you people in a very boring session. So just keep this very interactive. I'm just sharing few things which I have experienced in my college life. How I started my journey in my college, and then I am right now standing here with talking with you. So this 7 or 6 years or so, 8, 9 years of journey. It's almost 8 years or going to be 9 years. So whole 8, 9 years of journey, how that was and how I have crossed and experienced that, all those things. So that I'm going to share with very few examples or very few things, and also whatever I have learned through this. So that is the most important thing. Whenever you started a journey, it's very important that what you learn, rather than what you have, what you do not have, what you got, what you do not got. The most important part, when you crossed a journey like this, started in a college and then ended up like this. Uh, so this is what.
Uh, Seems to be some problem at his end, some internet problem again. So please hold on. I'm sure he will be joining again. Professor Rahul, in the meantime, you please.
Sorry, my internet problem. Sorry, sir. I have just
No
got
problem,
cutted
sir.
because of my internet problem. So now I think I'm audible and visible. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So what I was talking, like, is very important when you passed through a journey like this. So when whatever experience or whatever phase in your life, be it a college life, be it your career life, be it a small internship also for 6, 7 months or 6, 5 months or 3 months, it's very important that what learnings you carry with you during that period. So that is the most important thing which actually prevails or excels you in the next phase of your life, which makes you a more mature man or a more mature person in your future journey. That is what I believed and what I have learned from my teachers also. So it's very lucky. I must say at the very beginning that I got very lucky that when I started my journey in my college, I left my school there. I had few teachers who always guided me and guided other students also. But in college life, when I started at 2012, I remember the first day also in my college. I think Vishwajay sir also remember the first day I went to him and I had a complaint with me when I started my college journey. At the very beginning, at the very first day of my college life, when I started, I came, I joined. I was not very much enthusiastic also about to start engineering career. I was very much keen to started a career with general line like physics honors and mathematics. I also started in that way, but later different things. I was not so much mature at that time to understand all those things. So I have my mom, dad, and my other family mates, they have said me that conveyed to me that fine, you better go to engineering and all that. I never understood this at that time because I have not. I always say I was not so mature at that time. So the very first day I came to the college and I went to Vishwajay sir with a complaint. I remember this very clearly. The complaint was why I have been put into section D, because at our time we have four sections: section A, section B, section C, and D. So my initial thought that section D doesn't contain. So I had good things, or why should I even put it to section D? Or I have a idea in my mind, to be very honest, that section D doesn't contain good students. So that idea kind of a very beginning, because I just completed my school, so I have that idea in mind that section D always for the last people and things. So I thought, why I thrown to section D? Then I went to Vishwajay sir and he said it's completely fine. We just randomly put people into any section and by the time they will join and they will start their college. So that is how the way, otherwise section D will be empty. I thought, okay, fine. So I was not, to be very honest, I was not so happy to be put in section D when I started in my career at the first year or my college in the first year in 2012. But after that, believe me, my most of the friends who are still with connection to me, or we are in touch, right? Most of the friends are from section D, and believe me, they are in a very good place, very respected in a very good place. I have in touch with them. All of them have established in their life. Mostly all of them have established in their life, and they are in a very good place, very respected place. So this is one thing. So from that day, I have learned that do not judge or do not try to pre-assume something. So if this is here or this is this is the situation, this thing will going to happen, or that thing will going to happen, or I'll be judged like this, or he or she will be judged like this. It's not like that. Just take the experience, whatever is coming to your path, just feel it, take it and experience it. And the most important part, learn it. Learning is the most important thing. Believe me, this is your marks, your things like whatever you have earned, whatever you have, what kind of marks you have, how many projects you have done in your life, all things are fine, but the most important part, which is the very important part in my sense, is learning. What you learn in your these 4 years, it's not the very bookish knowledge that you have for your semesters. It's about the learning of your own life, how you have to deal situation. So see, this is a residential campus. I also, we left our mom and dad 1500 kilometers, behind, and we've been there with few of our friends who are also in a very similar condition like me. We grown up all together. And teachers. When I started my journey, that is the very important thing, which I missed out maybe. I am very lucky that I got teachers like them. Sandip sir was there from the very beginning. Aram sir was there. Chirodip sir was there. Surjit sir, Deepto sir, many other teachers, Vishwa sir, Vishwamay Pal, so many other teachers were there. So I was very lucky, I believe in my sense, that I got teachers like them, because they are like a true senior. We don't have we just have 1 year senior with us. But teachers like them, they really guided us very well. They behaved like they are a friend, philosopher, guide. These three things always stands for them. And I truly hats off to them. And I always say this. Today also, I do not have any hesitation to say this, to share this, that whatever today I am, and whatever position I have achieved, it's very, very, very little. That's a long and miles away, ahead to travel. But whatever little I have achieved, it's because of the teachers and the friends I have in this college. So that is the most important. It's not the book, it's not the exact book which they have guided me. So it was a very friendly and a very, because I have seen IITs. I went to IITs. I've been in IITs. I've been in IIT Madras for almost 2.5 years in the campus. And I've seen the the lifestyle of the students, the pressure, everything I've seen very closely. Hello, am I audible?
Anindus, due to suddenly for the last 30 seconds, there was some disturbance in the sound. Last 30 seconds.
Oh, okay, no problem, no problem. Maybe my headphone is having some problem. That's all. Have a bad. Have a bad. Just. Now am I audible clearly?
Yes, you're audible. Go ahead, please.
So this is what I say, that to start anything, to start any kind of a session or any kind of thing, I must want to thank my teachers and my college. So that is the most important part, because they have supported me a lot. They have guided me a lot, and most of the time when I was depressed, or I was not, I was very much, like behave like a vagabond. I don't know what to do in life. I don't know what to be, achieved ahead, how the journey need to be completed ahead. They guided me like my elder brothers. So that is the thing I must admit today. This is a very honest truth. And with the college, same also. But the main thing, which I believe, which I remember, when I started my journey, it is the hostel life. So I believe most of the students who are here, I think, yeah, it's a Saturday morning, but most of the people, if they are, hearing me, they will also agree, and teachers are also agreeing with me. Definitely, they'll agree with me that it is the life which I experienced, which I remember throughout my life. Which one thing I missed always at any given time, if I say what is the thing which you missed the most from your college, is my hostel life. It was an amazing journey, believe me. Leaving my mom and dad or leaving my family far behind, staying with the friends, they become your family, your friends, your mom and dad, your everything. They became your everything, and you started living a life. You started to live a life which is very different than which you used to with our own homes, right? So the very new kind of experience, new kind of people, friendship with them, gossiping throughout the night before the semesters and before the internals. So the whole semester is fine, the whole classes are fine, but before the semester and the exams, it is one of a kind of experience. It is one of a kind of experience because the study used to start at after. Generally, study used to start after 9 o'clock, after 8 o'clock or something. We started calling our teachers that, okay, sir, these things we have missed out, or what to study, or what to do. We used to disturb them a lot, believe me. And they very thankfully they have bared all the things. They have bared all the things, especially Sandeep sir, Chirudip sir, they are there. We disturb them a lot at night. Believe me, most of the students, when first year and second years, but they used to stay with us till last minute. 3-4 peoples together. So they're from different across the departments. So all the departments are together in a room. It's a complete, these things I never get in my life. Believe me, the experience what you have in your college life, like hostel life, you will never going to have it. This is the most lovable part and most enjoyable part of your life. You will never going to get it. So my opinion to you, it's my suggestion and not an opinion, which is from my experience, that enjoy your life as much as possible. Study is there, you need to do it definitely, because otherwise it's not possible anything. You need to do study, but after that also now there is a life. Enjoy that. Do not only study, or do not only study what is written in the book. Go out of the book. In our time we have it's not like today is like 1 GB internet, 2 GB internet. Internet is very much a free kind of a very easily available commodity. In our time it was not like that. It is one of the toughest job to get, but we were happy with that and we managed with that. My suggestion that whenever you read something in your college books or your textbooks, go out of it. Try to see the things out of the textbook. What you can do, what you can make. Engineering is not about studying and doing and hearing lectures. Engineering is all about doing something, whatever you are learning. So that is the basic difference with the other. So you learn things, and most importantly, you apply things. It doesn't mean that you will be able to repair fridge, TVs, or like that, or repair computers, but you will be able to think out of the box. So that is the quality you have to develop. You have to learn by the time. That is the most important part. Out of the box thinking or out of the box learning. If some topic is a topic you are reading in the textbook, there are YouTube, there are a lot of other sources right now. Go there, search it, study and try to grab as much as possible from the outer world, because so much knowledge today is available in the internet. It's a biggest deal. Believe me, teachers are there, they will guide you, but you are the person who will learn that. So do not think that teacher will come to you, they will give you everything and you will mug up and vomit. It's not like that. They will guide you what to do, what not to do. They are there to guide you, but you have to learn by yourself. You have to know by yourself. You have to learn how to grab knowledge from the huge knowledge or huge repositories available over the internet, that you must learn by the time. And apart from that, do not only study or things, enjoy your life. There is a hostel life. We have enjoyed so much in our hostel life. We have studied and everything we have done in our life. So just interrupt me if anything, if it is like going to be a boring session or something, and interrupt me anytime if you have any doubts or question, or if you want to share anything in between, because I don't want to be like it's a talk session. It's kind of an interactive session where I am sharing my thoughts. You can also share at any moment of time, given moment of time, you can share your own thoughts, you can raise your doubts, you can ask me any moment of time. It's just a discussion kind of thing, because without that I also don't understand that what you expect from me, or what you're expecting from me, or from my session. So please interrupt me anytime if you feel that, or if you have any doubt, just ask me, no problem in between. So the thing is, today also at any given moment, we have so much stories for our hostel. Not only we, our college friends, if you sit with our colleagues or our other friends, school friends, or from friends across other colleges, or who they're doing other things in other colleges, then also it feels like we have so much stories from hostel life. It's full of stories. It's just full of stories. It's not like कि कुछ सिर्फ पढ़ाई किया और समथिंग. ये सिर्फ था ऐसा कि हम लोगों ने पढ़ाई किया, सब कुछ किया, लेकिन इतना कुछ और किया ना. The memories have so much with us. We believe that I remember that we used to have like a session like IPL. We have cricket teams, we have football teams, so across the year, across the department, and we used to like franchises like in IPL or football. We have done this all in between the semesters. So these things are very common. At the afternoon, nobody have seen like this, like we have studying in the room or lab. Except the room or lab, people always find somebody of us, or a very huge number of people of us, who are playing at the ground, who are playing football, who are playing cricket, who are playing badminton. Maybe somebody is gossiping. Somebody is going out of the college campus and they are gossiping somewhere. So it's a very joyful and a very charming campus at that time. We don't have so much infrastructure today you have at that time, but we were very happy with that. The experience we had, the learnings we had from there, it was too much. It doesn't require a lot of infrastructure at that time. We have seen the college to be grown in front of us, to be very honest. But we have so much to tell. We have so much to speak that it cannot be completed or cannot be spoken only in 45 minutes or 40 minutes. There's so much of stories in hostel. Like we have when the cricket matches were there, it's maybe tomorrow is so it happened with us that tomorrow is a session, like tomorrow is a IPL game, or tomorrow is tomorrow is a internal exam. But you will find all the people from across the batches. There was one TV in a hostel room, so that I think that is now a faculty building. So in our time that was hostel also. All the students were there, forgetting about studies. They'll do it, but the most important part, they never like that, like watching the IPL match. They are returning to their rooms at 12 o'clock. But after that, they never slept. They started reading. They started preparing. Even if they do not have the material, they started group studying. So the enthu was there. The most important part is enthu. That we need to do it. So everything is there. We need to enjoy everything. But the most important part is we need to do everything. It's a combination. The college life is not only combination of studying. It's combination of everything. It's combination of study. It's combination of experiences, cultural programs. We've done everything. We have Probal. That's Shubhayu. I think we have attended his talk. Shubhayu and we people were all there. They are juniors at that time. But we have all a very good relation. We have built a lot of cultural programs like short films. Then we have done a lot of small dramas. We have a lot of other things. So those things, those curriculums are not included in the study. We have done that. We are focused on that also. But apart from that, we always tried. If anything, we always very few students or few students from our batch also have seen. They have a tendency to understand things out of the box. They always tried. Many students, not few, it's many students. They are in a very good place also. Like I can give you an example of one student, which is whose name is Proshun. Proshun was a student who belongs from civil department, but he always have a very good understanding, knowledge, and enthusiasm towards electronics. So he never left civil. He always done the studies with civils, given exams with civil department and all that. But whenever the Tech Fest will come, whenever the things will, any kind of event will come, he always try to participate in any event, or always showed the interest to participate in events in electronics department. Always try, he has some Arduino board. He always, used to make some kind of a robotic thing, coding and everything. But he is from civil background. But that interest within him. And today, what happened? He even get in electronics, and he have scored, I think 430 or 434. I didn't remember, but it's somewhere in the 400s section over all India rank. So this has shown the interest. It's not that the teachers have taught him so much and every time. It's not that. He taken so much from them. Teachers guided them, and he also by himself learned a lot. He tried to enhance his own knowledge in that field. So that is the important thing. Your interest, your enthusiasm. Teachers will be there. They are always there for you when you show your enthusiasm, you show your own interest. That is the most important part. You have to think out of the box. But it doesn't mean to sacrifice everything, your gossip, your own enjoyment and everything. That is there. That is the only thing we'll carry after college. The hostel enjoyment, the hostel life. Okay, so that is what I believe in my sense, which you carry throughout is the experience, what you learn, the stories which remain with you throughout your life. For me, it's my hostel memories, the memories of my teachers in my classes. But there are so much from the hostel life. If I start telling somebody when we discussing with the other friends someday, sitting or gossiping in some free time, it go on and go on. Will never stop because we have so much of the experience, because we have enjoyed that part also. It's not like we have only put ourselves in a room. We try to mix with other people. There are different people from different parts. The juniors, the relation, and the most important part is the relation with juniors and seniors. That was also very good at that time. our time. I don't know how it is now and how it should be, but our time it was very friendly and which helps us a lot. And today also we are in everybody is now. And that whenever anybody in their life have depression or sometime in their life, we always find people which you used to find in our colleges, except from teachers, the friends or the juniors or the seniors or our friends, whoever stands with us at that time when or to console us. Today also the same thing happens. If we feel any kind of depression thing or any kind of any sort of depression or any sort of downtime, we always call them anytime. They discuss it like a normal people, normal thing that they never show us a very business. If they are busy, they'll call us some time later. But the friendship is still there, and I feel that is very necessary after some time when you passed out the college life. It's very important to have those kind of relations. It is very important. Build it over the college because believe me, these 4 years you are having in your life, you will never get it in your life. Be it you may go for MTech, MS, or PhD, or any kind of job, but you will never have this 4 years you are having right now. Don't regret for anything whatever you have done, and don't feel to do anything. Just enjoy it as much as possible. Study also, the other lives also, because this is the only thing you will carry for your whole life, and this is a lifetime experience. And this is true. Every student across any colleges you are, this is a lifetime experience. So that is what my suggestion. And coming back to studies, if I say a placement and all that, I'm sure that many people will have your placements ahead after some time. Times for internships. Prepare yourself. Prepare. Give every day 1 or 2 hours when you are in third year, or at least 1 hour, half hour. Just invest the time for aptitude or anything which you think which is your subjects, which you think you are very comfortable enough in, or aptitudes. Just practice it for at least half an hour and 1 hour. Just keep in touch. It's not like before the placement as see semester exams we have done, we have studied before the night also, before the exams also. Everybody have done it. That's fine. But for things like placements and all this aptitude, for GATE also, so many people if you are aspiring for GATE or GATE like exams like GATE, give a little time, accept all these things, at least invest 1 hour, 1.5 hours of time from the very beginning. It will help you. It will never feel any big need to give a lot of time, or you think that I'll be puzzled, oh my god, the syllabus is not like that. Give a very little of time. Just manage your time very well. This is very important thing. The more you learn how to manage your time, how to divide your time for which thing, the more you become more experienced. That is my learning or understanding about college life, if you say. And today also the same thing I'm doing that in my whole life, which I've learned from that college. So this is whatsoever my experience. And yes, I have been with college for almost 4 years, from 2012 to 2016. Learned a lot of experience. Enjoyed a lot. I enjoyed a lot in my college and hostel life. So much to be enjoyed and so much to be spoken on also. And except that, yeah, I believe that placement times and everything, there's a hard time, tension, everything, but it went very well. Most of the people who doesn't clear it in the first round or first go, everybody of them they are in a good place. They have managed in their life. The only one thing that they have done in their life, they have done everything. But the most important key is they have practiced. They never left the hope that this cannot be done by us, or that cannot be done by us, or our college will give me everything. I'll just have to sit and grab it. No, it's not like that. You have to prepare yourself. You have to make yourself eligible for anything. You are all capable, but the most important thing, you have to make that eligible. So capable and eligible is a very important word. Capable and eligible is a very important word in my sense. So if you are capable, I know everybody you are capable, but you have to make yourself eligible. That is the most important part. To make yourself eligible, you need to practice. You need to do everything in a very managed time, in a very regular manner. But my companies do not sacrifice enjoyment of your college life or of your hostel life, because that is the only thing you will carry throughout your life. Everything will fall apart. Time will come when you do this things. So this is whatsoever my experience, and a very short kind of sharing which I which can be shared within this very short period of time. So just to speak about my understanding and learn rather than my experience in the college. So if anybody has any doubt or any kind of question you want to ask me related to regarding to your life, career, and anything which I might be able to answer, surely you can ask and raise a question. And today,
Yeah,
yeah, yes, sir.
yeah, Anindya, myself, Dr. Pradeep Sharma, and I have
Yes,
seen
sir.
you when you entered the college in
Yes,
2012.
sir. Yes,
And
sir. I
regarding
remember.
that also, actually, one question I have:
Huh.
what changes do you think that? What are the biggest transitional issue you faced? Translational change, or what changes in your personality when after 10+2 you entered into the college? And when you entered into the extracurricular activities, academics, you faced a lot of things, lot of challenges.
Correct,
So
correct,
how
correct.
you feel that all those things made you strong enough to take good decisions about your career and about your future? Can you
See,
comment
sir.
on that, please?
Sure, sure, sure. The first answering the first part of your question, that what kind of a behavioral change or kind of changes I have noticed after 10+2 when I entered in the college. The biggest change which I faced, or which I experienced rather, that when 10+2 we used to be in a home, used to be with our parents, and a very secured and a very comfort zone kind of a thing. We always used to be that we are always there. But when you stepped in the college, the first day will notice that you have to start your journey from that time by your own. Everybody is there for you, but you have to make decisions by your own. So that is the biggest change and biggest thing you will notice from the very first day when you enter the college. When I entered in the college, to be very precise, I faced it because it's maybe especially because our college is so far from our home. So I felt it, and we start thinking, okay, fine. From now on, these friends, teachers, the staffs of the colleges, and everybody, this is my family. I have to live with it. I have to behave with it. With it, I have to manage with it. So this is the biggest change in my attitude. That okay, fine. This I have to make my own decisions very precisely, very properly, because nobody is there so much for me to guide each and every step ahead in my life, like my mom and dad. Everybody is there to guide me, but I have to somehow make my own decisions, somehow make my own uh, thinking and everything. So this is a very to be very much self-dependent. It's a very proper word, I think, in my sense. And the next thing, going to the extracurriculum activities at the very first year when we were in the college, we're not so much involved, but from the second year I involved in almost every kind of events in happening in my college, even in the first year also, in terms of volunteer. From the second year, in terms of coordinators, in many programs, whichever program used to happen. These things are very important, other than studies, to coordinating, how to manage people in the practical life. When I am in an industry dealing with a lot of other people, a lot of other people from other domains, other mentalities, so how to manage. So I don't believe that people only have manager skill or manageable skills by doing MBA. It is by the experience you have in your life. It is not the MBA degree or something which makes you a manager. It's the experience which you have in your life, and it's almost how you feel yourself, how you know throttle your career or your life. That is the most important part. So the experience makes you a good manager, not an MBA degree. That's my experience till now, because I have done those things in my office also. I do not have any MBA degree. I have managed people, I have managed projects, I have managed events also, in a way. I have managed in a very big conferences also, somewhere or other, in terms of volunteers, in terms of coordinators. I have done that. But when I have done that, I have already done this. I have the experience. It is not a tough job for me. It is not a very difficult job for me. I can easily able to handle it. To interacting with people, different kind of people from the different parts. So I never feel any kind of shyness. I never feel any kind of, so making connection, making bonds, making networks, which is very much important for your career or your professional life. Career network is a very important part when you grow your career. So that is very important thing, I believe. I always feel that because of the things I have done in my colleges, I have participated in the events in my colleges, it's become very easy for me to deal with the people, to interact with the people, to building network with the people. It's become very much easy for me. So yes, sir, that is my answer to your question.
Anina, one more thing. I'll request you to, means you are working on a very good project right now. So can
Right,
you
sir.
explain so that our new students can understand what actually you are doing in your research and what in industry you are helping to?
Sure. Why not? So, saying about my own experience or what right now in the industry I'm in or the work I'm doing right now is I'm currently working in deep learning and machine learning, which is very precisely, to be very honest, in the data science field in a very broader way. I'm in a data science field right now, working with deep learning, machine learning, or in data analytics things. So, deep learning and machine learning is too much involved in artificial intelligence. So, I'm working with those fields or those methods or algorithms, to be very honest. And the field which those things I apply right now is NLP, or natural language processing, the text processing. Like an example, I think everybody understood from the students I'm saying. I think the students, many of them must know, or many of them do not know, that when you say something in the Google, in a Google or Siri, to Siri or to Alexa, so those are text or speech processing. You whatever say things you say, those things will be at the end converted from speech to text. Then everything, whatever the artificial intelligence, the automation, everything, whatever you find is from text automation, is from the text analysis or the text processing, which is natural language processing, or whatever you search in Google. Sometimes you see in Amazon or something, if you see, they give you a lot of examples or a lot of recommendation which is relevant to you or the products you have searched most. It always used to give you a lot of recommendations what you have searched or something. So these are things like artificial intelligence or the automation kind of thing. They actually, using algorithms, they used to learn things. They used to, learn things like they know what the way you think, the pattern of your thinking, the pattern of your speech, the pattern of the which you will write text. So that is the most important part in artificial intelligence. I'm dealing with that field right now. I'm currently doing a project where so suppose you people give exams, right? So generally teachers used to check the copies. It is very easy for a single question or for tick mark question or for multiple choice question. It's very easy to automate that because you know which is the option A, B, C, D. But if you write a passage of 5 marks, you need to understand the quality of the text, the novelty of the text, how much the text is, according to the question. The answer is how much as per to the question asked. So those things are a lot of parameters which is involved when you write a very big text. And when and everybody has a different pattern of writing. Everybody has a different pattern. Then it's become a very difficult job to find out or to check the questions. So automatically, when you write a very big passage, so how good the passage is or how better the writing is, it is very difficult for you to understand, or any difficult for any kind of computer or any kind of direct automated algorithms available for deep learning and machine learning. It's very difficult to understand the quality of the text or the other parameter of the text. So right now, what I am involved in a project where with IIT Kharagpur, where we're trying to build automated systematic text processing system, where we're trying to understand by if you write any kind of question or give any kind of question by and students write any kind of answer to that, our system is able to detect the quality, the novelty, the spelling mistakes, obviously the novelty, and how much the question is as per to the question asked, how precise it is. So all the parameters when a teacher generally when a teacher thinks when he's taking an answer or checking a copy, all those parameters, our system will be able to identify any kind of even if it is we are trying to make it the challenge we are facing right now, handwriting. So it is there are a lot of other algorithms to detect handwriting, but from handwriting to convert it to text, any kind of handwriting, and then to directly understand the question or to monitor the question or to scrutinize the answer, we are building a system. So that is the project currently I'm involved in. So we're in between something. This project is in quick collaboration with IIT Kharagpur.
So thank you, Anindya. Now yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, Anindya, I was just wondering, like when you
Yes, sir.
started with your first interaction with me, I was just trying to recapitulate that scene.
Right,
Remember,
right.
I was just
I completely
saying
remember.
that I was just sitting in that room adjacent to your old library, if you remember.
Correct.
Adjacent to
Yeah.
that room I was sitting, and when you came in with your complaint like you have been put in section D and why not in section D, I was trying to explain you. I would like to remind all my students that I remember each and every single interaction that I have, and if it is the first interaction, I remember each and every bit of it whatsoever. Like this year also, I am absolutely aware of all interactions that I have made with you people personally. Like in your batch, Sahitya and Anurag are there. They have developed some wonderful apps right in the first year. And the first interaction with them, I do remember Sahitya was talking about one of our old students, Ontea, and that was his first interaction with me. Then came this, and then Anurag was talking about a NGO internship that he has got. That was his first interaction with me. I remember each and every single interaction. Like Aparna might be over here. She posted a piece of C code to me and asked her, why is this not working? So that was her first interaction. So every first interaction with you people and all interactions, I remember every bit of it. And so I do remember what I had with Aninda. A while back, I saw this, our Muhammad Afnan Alam joining. He's in 4th year right now, but still I remember the first interaction that I had with him. He is a regular NPTEL topper, but one time he did not top the list. So I asked him, that was my first interaction with him. How could not you be a topper this time? So these were the interactions I have, and I remember each and every single interaction I have with my students. And I want to point out why I said all these things. I want to point out that if you have any problems, please get in touch with me, because that is my only work. I want to ensure that you don't have any problems, and I want to ensure that you grow big in life. You make it big in your life. That is the intention of doing this whole thing. Like Anindo, why did we bother him on a Saturday? Why did we call him up on a Saturday? Only reason is I want you people to listen from him that how he started in the first year, not with dreams of being maybe a senior researcher in TCS R&D. He started
I never thought about being any kind of thing, but yeah, it's the journey.
Yes, he started with a dream maybe of getting a good job, that he will do a good job, but he never dreamed that he will be a senior researcher in TCS R&D and he will travel all over the country to interact with the PhD students, MTech students, and the different students, guiding how to do research. He never thought of that, but he gradually grasped it. So I request all of you, have a big dream in your mind. Have a very, very big dream in your mind. Think that you will have to reach the top. But for that, the basics need to be corrected. Like Sachin Tendulkar is a great cricketer. Everybody knows about him. Everybody knows that Sachin Tendulkar is a great cricketer. But first and foremost, he did the basics right. He ensured that his defense is correct. He knows all the basics things correctly. Like in the first year, if you are a BTech student, you must learn C programming. No, you cannot. You just cannot avoid that. I think Anindo will absolutely agree with me. C and Python at the moment, you just cannot neglect it. You will have to learn programming, be it C, be it Python, be it Java. You have to learn programming. That is the thing.
One programming, the logic needs to be very much clear. That is the most
logic
important
needs
part.
to be clear. So these are the things. This is the reason I called him. Anyway, Anindo, I was wondering one question that I will be having,
Sure.
which I ask all the alumni members which interact. But nevertheless, this question never gets old. Anindo, you are given a task from TCS at the moment. Think of a situation. Correct. You are given a task from TCS that you will have to go to UEM Jaipur, not as an alumni, but as a recruiter. And you will have to sincerely and without any pre-notion in your mind that you will have to recruit the proper individuals, the individual that suit the job of research and development in TCS. But the tough job in your hand, think of a hypothetical situation, the tough job in your hand is you will have to recruit them in the first year. They will join after 4th year, but you will have to recruit them now. In first year, you will have to recruit them and they will join after 4th year and you will have to neutrally recruit them. What will you will not be getting anything, like you will not be getting machine learning, you will not be getting AI,
Correct.
you will be
Correct.
getting
Correct.
Python, nothing you will be getting. You have only come to recruit
Correct.
first year,
Correct.
you'll be joining after 4 years.
Correct.
How will you recruit? What will you see?
Sir, I think I have already mentioned when I'm sharing experience is like the first thing which I see in a student, if I have to, so if I think about this hypothetical condition, what I always think about, or what is always in my mind, that how the student thinks himself or how much he is interested to grab knowledge. So the first thing which I see from my side, if say you ask me this question, what I see at the very beginning is the interest to understand, interest to know things, interest to grab knowledge. So that is the very first thing I will notice in that. Because in first year, I will never expect somebody to learn everything. But I can expect that the enthu or the desire to have knowledge, to have the desire to understand things deeply. That thing definitely I'll notice, and that is the first and key parameter that on the basis which I'll judge or I'll recruit people. The first thing. The second thing is definitely few other parameters like how cooperating, because while in working in an industry with other people and a lot of other people, it's very important that how coordinative you are. You have to continuously communicate with people. You have to continuously communicate, especially in research domain. You have to continuously communicate. You have to continuously in touch with other people. You have to always collaborate with different institutions, different teams across the organization also. So to have that capability to talk with people, the coordinative nature, I believe. So these two are the key parameters, I believe, in my sense. If these two parameters are there properly, I'll be able to recruit any people from first year in this hypothetical condition.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for that answer. Thank you for the answer. So maybe for that, to understand that the desire for knowledge, as you talked about,
Definitely, that is most important part.
What can be one question that you will ask to understand that desire for knowledge?
So suppose I definitely understand that I'll throw him or her, whoever is in front of me, I'll always try to throw a question to him or her, which is definitely, I'll make sure that it's a little bit tougher, a little bit unknown to him or her. So definitely, the student from whoever he or she will be, he or she will try to answer, or he or she will say no to it. So if I throw a question which is not answerable by him or her at that present moment, if he or she has the interest to understand it, except of thinking that she or he will be selected for the interview, definitely ask me that I don't understand. So what is the answer, or what can it be solved, or how this question needs to be solved? That is the thing that I expect in my mind, that okay, fine, he or she is interested to know the answer. It's very normal to not know the answer. It's very normal to say no. It's very normal to say that I do not know. But it is definitely difficult, or it is definitely something else when you say I do not know but I want to know. So that part I want to hear from the student. That is the thing I want to hear from anybody who is sitting in front of me. That I do not know. It is very completely understandable that you do not you know everything. Definitely, you do not know many things. I do not know many things till now. Many things. Even if in the field of deep learning and machine learning, it's continuously growing. I cannot say that I know everything. But the moment I say whatever know is enough, that is a different thing. And the moment if I say to somebody who is saying in front of me some question which is not known to me, if I say that I do not know, please make me understand, or please tell me how I will learn this. This is a thing which I expect, or which anybody will expect in my place, in that hypothetical condition, in my sense.
Thank you so much, Anindo. Thank you so much. Okay, Professor Sharma, you may kindly continue.
And for my sense, I just want to add few things, like for the students first year, second year. See, in our time, internet was a kind of a very big deal, but we have somehow managed from. Today, you have a lot great resource of YouTube, Coursera, Udemy. They're offering courses with very small prices. Sometimes they're offering for free. Do not try to enroll and have certificate all the time. See, in my sense, knowledge is important. You learn from Coursera. If you do not have money at that time, okay, fine. That's completely okay. But learn the courses. Do not need a certification. Nobody, if you show the boss, I have this certificate, doesn't mean that you are certified for that thing or that knowledge. If I show a Python certificate that from Udemy or Coursera, I know Python, I know machine learning. It's no boss. It's a completely myth. It's a complete myth. Certificates are fine, but justify always that certificate by anything which have been done by you. Build some projects, build some practical thing, put it on GitHub or put it on any kind of online platform. You'll be able to show people that okay, fine, I have learned this certificate, but that is not only certificate. I have learned this properly and I have made something by learning that. So always being an engineer, this is the advantage for you. Always make something, build something, whatever you learn from that, whatever you have done. So this is the important. Certificates are good, but it's not enough. It's only enough your knowledge. And try to show them by building some practical things. Put it on GitHub. Do not need to show everybody. Put it on GitHub. Just practice something. Do some dummy projects. Put it on GitHub. This is the way you should go ahead. It is for electronics, CAC, these kind of. As for electronics, maybe you will be able to build robots. You will be able to have. Just buy an Arduino code. Do some circuit. Build some circuits. Try that it is working or not. You learned. You have given exam. You have good marks. That's fine. But if I give you a proper circuit and try to give you and tell you to solve it, believe me, it is a difficult situation. It's very different from the book what we have learned. So certification is good, but make it make a proper use of it. That is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that is very correctly said, Anindya, because knowledge is what matters actually. So one question actually coming from, but generally speaking, for all the students right now, we are having, most of them have this problem. Like the question is from Satyam Singh and Shubham Yadav. They have written that, sir, I have not taken CS in my 12th. So coding is new for me. So can you give some advice on it?
Okay, coding is new to them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So in that condition, if coding is very much new to them, what I want to say is, okay, fine. See, in my, I belong from a background from West Bengal board. I have done my studies in West Bengal board. Okay, so I have done it from West Bengal board and all that. But the thing is, I never learned C, C++, Python in my schooling background. That's very honest. I have never seen it. I have never done a piece of coding in my school life. When I entered in the college, it was also very new to me. I never learned like BlueJ and everything. So that is the most important part. Understand? So everything in your life, so see boss, I want to clear this thing. Try to make sure that whatever new is falling in your path, which is new, which is unknown to you, which is unexperienced by you, try to experience it, try to grab it positively. It's very important to grab the new. Without that, you cannot proceed ahead in your life. See, you will go ahead in your life when you put it in an organization, you will understand complete things are different. They will give you some tasks which is never understood by you, which has been never done by you. The technologies has been never taught to you. Will you say no? No. It is not possible to say no at the time. So do not try to say no. If it's something new, try to grab it. Try to attend it. Try to learn it. There are a lot of sources online too. If C is new, it's something new. Feel the joy to learn something new, always. For me, C was completely new. I was not very much aware about C and everything. Never, I didn't even thought C was like alphabet for me. But I have learned it gradually. Teachers helped me. Teachers are there to help me. There are now online modes are there. A lot of online modes are there. Try to grab it from there. That's all. Which is, I think, enough for you. So do not say to no. C is new. It's new. Try to learn it. New will be there. In your life, a lot of things will be new in future. So do not say to new. Say yes to something which is new.
Yeah, that's there. So I request all other participants to interact with Anindya. If any question is there, you kindly unmute yourself and ask directly.
Sir, before joining the company, what different knowledge you have? What different things you learned in 4 years?
See, it's not necessary to learn a lot of things in your life before joining a company. Try to learn either one or two things, but make sure that you have a very good basics on that. You have a good knowledge of that. Whatever you are learning, right? See, I do not know many things till now, but it doesn't throw me back in some field or doesn't throw me back in my own career. I always try to make sure which I learn, which I am working on, that should be very much clear to me. The basics should be very much clear to me. So if you are learning Python or some kind of whatsoever, so if you are trying to learn some front end things or front end development, try to make sure learn the state of art things which are currently going in the market, which are currently trending in the market. Try to learn those things and learn the basics at first properly. That if anybody will ask you, they will ask you from the basics. Any company will not going to ask you a very thing which is or something which is very much higher level concept. It's always they want to understand that do you have the basics clear or not. So always make sure that basic need to be very much clear, and whatever you are learning, make sure do not learn a lot of things. Instead of that, if you learn, you will be able to learn a lot of things. That's good for you. But for my understanding, for my opinion, whatever you are learning, make sure that you are good at it. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Bhaiya.
Okay, one question I got from Sahitya Roy. He's asking, is web development, Android development really helps to crack a company?
Yeah, sure. Why not? If you have the knowledge, every company nowadays has a different, diverse domain of working on. They have a very different and diverse domain to talk and to grab, right? So yes, if you have a knowledge on Android or something, or Android security or whatsoever, Android app development, whatsoever, companies have their own work on that domain. So everybody needs people from every domain right now, because every company nowadays want to work on multiple things. So sure, why not? If you have that knowledge, make sure that you are good at it. That's what I'm saying. Make sure that you are good at it. There are a lot of other companies you might do not know. They are very much good at it and they are only working on that topic. Yes, there are a lot of companies in Android. There are a lot of companies. There is a very good chance of getting placements or getting placed yourself or getting good in internships also. But make sure you are good at it. Do something, build some project that you can show them this. I know that is fine, but why should I believe that you know? You have to show something, right? So that is the most important, in my opinion. And surely it will help you out to answer.
One question from Abhishek Das. He's asking, for getting a job from ECE department, which courses are more helpful related to ECE?
Boss, I am from ECE. Sandeep sir is there, Chudhary sir is there. I am from ECE. My opinion, if you take, I don't know, it might be different with many other students, different from many other students or many other people. But my opinion is, or what I thought or what I believed throughout, be good at your own subjects first. Okay, that is the first thing, first and foremost thing. Try a lot of things, learn a lot of things is fine, but first good at your own subject first. When I entered in TCS research, the 60% question asked to me, I don't know it's only for me or it's because to few of the students. For me, the question 50 to 60% question asked from me were from ECE. Okay, 50 to 60% questions are from ECE. They asked me from logic gates. They asked me from and that time I showed in my CV also that I have done some projects with computer science or related to coding or something. They asked me that also, but they first cleared out that do I have my own subject knowledge? The subject knowledge is clear or not? Do I have that knowledge clear or not? My subjects are very important. So whatever department you are in, first make sure that you are good at your own subjects. Maybe it's few, not good at all your subjects, but make sure that you should be very much good at very few subjects at your own department. You should love your own department first, and then there are a lot of other things. C and things. These are see, coding is not a subject that you have to learn only because you are from ECE or you are from CSE. Or you are from, coding is a tool right now. Be it from any department, you have to learn coding today or tomorrow. Coding is a tool now. Coding, software simulations are become a tool right now. So those are not a subject, to be very precise. Data structure is a subject, but coding is something which is a tool right now. You have to learn it. You have to clear your own logics. Be it any department you are. You need coding at ECE also, but good at your own subjects first. That is my opinion. I think Sandeep sir and Chudhary sir will agree with me. But this is what my opinion. It might differ with somebody else.
Yeah, thank you, Anindya. One more question from Gaurav Jha. He is asking interesting question that if you come in UEM Jaipur for placement of students and you have to give job in artificial intelligence, and there are two students, one with specialization and one with the normal CSE, then which students have more chance to get placed?
I will not see which is from CEC or which is from EC, who one has the specialization. I see who has the knowledge. That's all.
No, he is saying one student has artificial intelligence as a specialization and one with simple CSE.
See, I first of all, I'll make sure this. If somebody is from CSE, if he has a very good knowledge of his own subjects, I am not expecting that I'm hiring somebody for artificial intelligence. He's already good at artificial intelligence. Okay, I'm not expecting that. Okay, I'm not expecting that. But what I'm expecting is, very honest, what I'm expecting is he or she must be very much clear about the basics of their own subjects. If somebody is from artificial intelligence, he is not good at with artificial intelligence, instead of the specialization also, and the CSE one is good with his own knowledge, own department knowledge, I'll hire the CSE one, because I know by the time he will learn it, I'll give him 2 months or 3 months time, he will learn it. But if I see that the person with CSE, he doesn't have, just a moment, I have another meeting, but I just need to, just a moment, I just need to do that. So if I that CSE guy has the knowledge, I'll hire him. If I see the CSE guy have only the degree, doesn't have any good knowledge, actually good at it, surely I'll hire him. So this is the condition. I definitely say you have to be good at it, whatever you are and wherever you are. That's all. Things will be learned ahead.
Thank you, Anindya. But one more thing, I want to add that before starting your career in any technical or professional thing, a student should come up with your thought, with your words, and means they should start to speak up. Okay.
Correct.
Because,
this is very important. Communication is very important.
Yes. So I am getting the questions here, but I am inviting students to speak also. So Ishwar is posting a question, but I think Ishwar is here also. So Ishwar, can you ask the question directly to Anindya? Ishwar, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sure. Tell me.
Yes. For being an Android developer, which language should be preferred? There are a lot of, like, for native it is Java, and for cross-platform.
I'm not clear. Can you speak a little louder, please?
For being an Android developer, which language should be preferred? Means you should pursue.
Or
He is asking which language to be preferred for Android developer.
Yes, sir. Yes.
For Android, I think you need to have knowledge of Java at the very beginning. Then you proceed with assembly. Java is needed at the very beginning. See, now Android has many platforms to code. It became very easy, right, as of now. Knowledge of Java or any kind of programming language, logic need to be very much clear at any programming, and then you can gradually learn it. So that is my things, my answer.
Thank you. Shravan, are you there? Shravan Kumar Kumawar? Shravan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you please ask your question, Mr.
So my question is that what is the roadmap to become an AI and ML engineer?
Which year you are in?
Yes, sir.
Which year you are in right now? First year, second year?
Second year.
Okay, from second year. Okay. So see, boss, and your department?
CSC.
Okay. So my suggestion to you, first understand or first try to have good knowledge on your own subjects, algorithm, data structure. These things are, wherever you will go in your life, these subjects will haunt you forever. This is my promise to you. So have good knowledge on those subjects first. And then even if you become a good AI engineer, these algorithm, data structure, all those things, automata. See, in NLP, I have to work with some things like regex. I have to work with automata, few parts of automata. I never learned in my life automata. I have to read it, or I have to read it after I passed out from my college. When I see these things, I need it. I'm not from CSE background, so you are from CSE background, so try to learn your like automata and all those. This is a very important subject. It's a core thing of anywhere in the software domain we go. These are the some core subjects. First learn all those things, and then okay, there are a lot of in AI engineer. First understand there are a lot of courses available, like understand what is data, how the data can be treated, what types of data are there. So these things, try to understand. There are a lot of courses. If you personally connect me, I'll guide you on that courses. Then gradually you have to learn, machine learning, then deep learning, followed by machine learning and things. So things are there. There are a lot of other things. You have to learn Python also. Python is one of them. R is also there, but Python is the most trending language right now. So AlphaGo is coming in some future. So Python is as of now the trending. So it might change in future. So you have to right now learn Python or Python for data science. That is what I suggest to you. And there are a lot of other courses available on YouTube. You can personally connect with me. I can tell you the courses for that, and you can go through it. Sure. But first, understand your own knowledge.
Okay, sir. How I connect you personally?
Please have my mail ID. Just drop me a mail. I think I'll answer you, or I'll send you the links of the courses. Will it be fine? So I'll share my email ID to sir. At the end, and you can ask from me, and you can mail me directly on that mail ID. Okay.
Yes, we'll share the details of Anindya accordingly
Sure.
To all the candidates.
Sure.
But I think we can take one or two more questions, because Anindya is having another meeting.
Another meeting, yes, sir.
Yes. So I request, if you have any one or two questions, you directly ask. Otherwise, we can wind up this session.
Sir, before joining the UEM, what thing in your mind? Only the placement or doing something else?
Never, boss, never. To be very honest, I'll be lying if I say placement was in my mind. Definitely no. Placement is a thing, boss. I just want to interrupt you. Don't feel bad. Placements will be fine. It will come to you. There are a lot of companies. There are a lot of job opportunities. If the college will provide you, that's fine. If not, you'll able to have it. But first, make sure that you have enough knowledge on it. When I started the UEM, as I said, I have never had an intention to join engineering college. So physics, and I started admission. I started classes on physics honors. Okay, so that was the thing. I never had that placement kind of thing. I thought that okay, fine. Because I have so much aligned towards physics and mathematics, because I started my career on that. I was used to start my career on that. What in my head, I learned something which is very much aligned, because I initially started with CSE, then went EC. That I learned something which is very much aligned towards physics, which is very much aligned towards something which I able to practically, apply something, practically do something with my own knowledge. I am able to make some robots, make some cars, and that was my fantasy at the very beginning. To be very honest, it sounds very silly, but those are exactly on my mind when I started my engineering. Never it was my placement. It comes gradually. Initially on my mind that I'll able to do something practically. I'll able to make something practically by my knowledge. So that was my initial learning. I will able to know something very much which I used to desire. So that is what at the beginning in my mind. It's never like the placement. Placement is fine. If I have my own knowledge, I'll have the placement. That I was sure of. To be very honest. So I never do some chick chacks with placement and all that. That will come to you. Definitely. But make sure you are good enough at it. That's all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Sure.
thank you,
Yeah,
Anindya.
Thank you,
sir, are you there? I think we can wind up now. Sir? Okay, I think Visa is not connected right now. So, Anindya, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm very
No
much
problem.
connected. I'm very much connected. I thought you were talking to Anil. I just missed it.
Okay,
I'm very much connected.
Okay. So,
Yes,
sir,
we can wind up now, because Anindya has got other meeting.
Yes,
So I think
Yes,
we can wind up.
okay.
It was really
Thank
a
you.
wonderful session, Anindya. Thank you so much. Thanks for your
No
words.
problem, sir. Anytime.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anindya.
Thank you for giving this opportunity. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Okay. Bye.
Kindly
Bye.
share your contact details so that we can.
Sure. I'll share with you my email ID. I'll share with you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.